Good morning, it's 4:37. This is good news. We've moved on to a new phase in the bird flu epidemic, bird flu outbreak, as some of the first turkey farms that were hit by the avian flu outbreak are now restocking their barns. The Minnesota Board of Animal Health says one of the first farms hit in Stearns County, another in Pope County, are the first to start all over again.
It's encouraging, and there's also a sense of guarded optimism.
Turkey farmers who've been cleared to start all over again with a new flock face a difficult decision. New cases of the bird flu are still popping up 4 months after it was first detected here in our region.
Growers are in the process of weighing that the opportunity to get back into business, but the possibility of having a second introduction in the fall when the birds start to migrate again and start to move and the virus is active in naive birds.
Veterinarians studying this destructive strain of the avian flu believe the virus was brought to our state by wild waterfowl. They suspect it spread through contact with their droppings and possibly through the air. Despite added biosecurity measures, the virus is still spreading.
They physically have to change boots when they come from the outside and before they go into the barn. So there's a different set of boots. Washing truck tires to make sure that there's nothing that's brought onto the farm from outside the farm.
Researchers are looking at what else can be done. Most of the affected farmers are in the middle of a long process of depopulation. First, the infected flock has to be euthanized and then composted inside the barns. Then weeks are spent cleaning and disinfecting the barns before letting them sit empty for 21 more days to dry out.
If they delay the population of their farms or restocking of their farms, there's a loss of income for that period of time, whatever. If it's a few months, that's a loss of income to them. So there's a number of things that they're looking at.
Amid mounting criticism from Iowa lawmakers about the speed of the U.S. Ag Department's response, the U.S. Senate Ag Committee will hold a hearing next month on the bird flu outbreak. Republican U.S. Representative Steve King of Iowa says the USDA took too long to set up incinerators to dispose of carcasses. Colin Peterson, a Minnesota Democrat and the ranking member on the House Ag Committee, says USDA is probably responding as well as it can. House Democrats, though, may have cast the fatal votes that killed President Obama's trade agenda Friday. The Obama administration believed it had the votes necessary to pass Trade Promotion Authority. That would allow the president to finalize agreements with Pacific Rim nations and the European Union. Only 40 House Democrats, less than 1/4 of the caucus, voted for the bill. It fell in a landslide 302 to 126. By defeating the aid measure, the labor movement got in there, added an amendment which all Democrats decided they did not like. It is time now for Iron Monday, the latest machinery news brought to you by Degelman Industries. Planting is over. Now it's the spraying season. Farmers are either controlling weeds or applying foliar feed to increase yield. Here's a new John Deere sprayer that might make that job a little more fun.
The R4030 is an 800-gallon machine. The 30 stands for the metric measurement instead of gallons. The R4038 is a 1,000-gallon machine. And then we have the R4045, which is a 1,200-gallon machine. And all three machines have the capability of all the different boom sizes as well. It's not just for one sprayer.
Manufactured in a factory that only makes sprayers.
Completely redesigned from the ground up for this new series. It's in Ankeny, Iowa, and so yeah, this will be the second season in productivity with this series.
These new John Deere sprayers are not just for liquid only.
You can put a dry fertilizer box on them as well. Each machine has the capability of removing the solution system. They've kind of built it into one module so you can lift it off, and then if you want to do some top dressing or fall fertilizer application, they're capable of doing that as well. And if you haven't sat in one, I would challenge you to find one and see what you think of it.
And that's a check of our Iron Monday this morning. It's 4:42. Coming up after the break, we're checking the farming forecast and seeing where these thunderstorms down there in southeast South Dakota, southwest Minnesota are headed.